Hey everybody, it's Mary. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. Today I'm playing with the small die of the month from Spellbinders for June of 2020. And I'm also going to be just sharing a couple tips along the way for how I use my dies when I get these kits in the mail. So this is the first tip. The first tip is cut out all your dies. When you get them, sometimes they seem overwhelming because there's a lot of the pieces in the set. So my first recommendation is to just die cut them. Pull out a white piece of cardstock, put them all in your die cut machine at once, and run it through your machine. This is going to help you see everything that you have, and then maybe what are some of the pieces that you need to die cut multiples of. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to put this kit together. I was really excited to play with this because this hand could hold anything. So keep that in mind as you're designing. You do want to definitely keep this little tiny piece though for the hand, because that's going to finish off that look for the finger right there. So just keep that in mind. My second tip is to figure out how you want to color up your stuff, probably from the beginning. And you want to base this decision on what is most enjoyable to you. Because also I've definitely heard people say that these die kits can sometimes, like I said, there's a lot of pieces to them and it could be a little bit of intricacy with your work. But also the joy in that is that it's almost like a puzzle piece. And so you want to figure out the first way I watercolored, and I did that off screen just to keep the video shorter. But the second way here, I just pulled out a bunch of cardstock in my stash. I had so many pieces of scraps that I just keep and I don't use. And so I grabbed up a bunch of that and I ran it through my machine, and I did it all at once. So I took the teal piece and I ran through as many pieces as I could at once. This way I'm not like piecemealing everything. Then I can come back, especially with floral kits, and you can just start putting your florals together with various pieces, right? So you don't have to do one little flower at a time, running it through with 5 different pieces of cardstock, etc. So it's almost like mass producing. Okay, so definitely figure out what is easiest and most enjoyable to you. I think that's going to have you through your card process just really having a good time. And that is 100% what this is about. Nobody wants to come to their craft room to be stressed out. We can get that outside the craft room. So, all right. So I'm just putting my pieces together here. And this is, you can follow the way that I'm doing it, or you can make it your own. You can piece different parts of these florals together. There is no set way to put the die together. There is a set way for the hand, obviously, because you want it to, if you want that outline, you're going to put it together the way that I just showed you. But the florals, just have fun with it. Side note, while I'm putting these flowers together, so sorry about my voice. I am under the weather, but it's like this lingering kind of cold that's just kind of here, but kind of not. I'm thinking it might be allergies, although I'm having a hard time admitting that. I've never had allergies my entire life, but I think they might be finding me. They've given me enough of a break. So here are all my florals put together. This is obviously not all of them. I have a lot of extra pieces. So that's another great thing. You can kind of just keep them tucked away together in the dies. So this is the layout that I came up with, and I did not do this on video. And I thought about redoing it because this is all loose. So I had to take some press and seal, and I'm going to keep it all together, flip it over, peel off my backing very slowly, and I'm going to glue everything on the back. And I couldn't redo it. It took me probably 5 minutes just to get this layout right. So I thought you'd all forgive me for not showing how I did it. Just place it down however you think it looks good. So I'm going to get that all the glue on there. I'm using Barely Art glue. This is my new favorite. If you have art glitter glue, I've said this before, it's pretty much the same thing, except it has a little bit of a different property because it could chip in the cold. Anyway, we are going to place this straight down, and I'm going to peel up very slowly because some of these top pieces did not have a lot of adhesive on them. So I'm going to pull away my press and seal and then go back in with my glue and kind of reinforce the areas that I need. This glue is really, really good at drying pretty quickly, but not too fast that I can't wiggle stuff around. So that's helpful. But I also recommend putting something heavy on top if you're going to do a bouquet like this, because you just want to really seal in that adhesive. I'm going to pull out some really pretty teal that matches one of the flowers and use that as a mat for the backing of my card, which I don't do quite that often. Don't look too close, it's crooked. It's handmade. This is what we're doing. I'm keeping it. I realized it after it was dried and it wasn't worth me taking back up, but it's okay. Again, handmade. So I'm going to take out this thank you die and I'm going to put that straight down because I can always use more thank you cards. And I'm going to be using some 120 accent opaque card base here. And this is really sturdy. I decided to give a shot of what my cards will be like if I use the sturdiest of the cardstock I have, and so far so good. My cards, for some reason, it must be the weather in my craft room, they're kind of bending. And so I don't like that. So I'm just going to see how this works. I finished it off with some sequins here just to add a little bit of sparkle. And that first card is done. Let's get into the second card here. So this one is putting the pieces of the die together. I'm going to be using the flowers as if the hand is holding a floral bouquet of sorts. So it's a very small, only 2 flowers. By the way, my mother sent me lilies for my birthday this month. And when I got them, this is how, full disclosure, I'm just going to tell you how it is. I don't have a green thumb. I don't know anything about flowers, but I get this floral arrangement delivered and I send her a picture and I'm so excited because it's beautiful. It's like this beautiful green arrangement. And she sends me back a text like, "What?" I said, "What's wrong?" I called her and she said, "What is that?" I said, it's the floral arrangement. She goes, "They're supposed to be lilies." I didn't know what a lily was. So I had to go Google it. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's not what happened." She goes, "Well, they're not bloomed yet." And then when they did bloom, let me tell you, I'll insert a picture right here. They are the most beautiful flower I've ever seen. They're huge. Anyway, now you know a little bit about me and some of my areas of improvement, because I definitely need to know more about florals. Yeah. Anyway, okay, back to the card. So I'm going to add some stickles here, added a sentiment I had in my stash, and then just these final nice little touches. This background was done with Distress Oxide, and I just have a envelope with all bunch of backgrounds I've done, so I just pulled it out. And it makes card making pretty simple. If you just don't have any mojo and you make a bunch of backgrounds, just put them away and pull them out for when you do have mojo. Same here. I have this background. Now, my third tip for your die sets is pair them with other things. This is the Spellbinders Globe Die that comes with the globe that's on the actual stand. I cut the stand off. It is a Biggs die, which is kind of like the thicker ones, the steel metal rule dies. And it, by the way, it's on sale. It's down from $20 to $6 right now. So yeah, I love this die. You've seen it in multiple videos. But I decided to make a bunch of hands and hold up the globe, and this is just, I don't know, I'm really into this theme lately because I want to encourage us all to remember that we are in this together, and so we just need to be as supportive as we can for one another. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things right now, and so just having that emotional intelligence and empathy, that someone might not be, might be dealing with something worse than you. You might be dealing with something worse than others, but just to kind of rally around each other and be there. And so this card is dedication to that. And again, I had that background in my stash, just pulled it out, and this card came together really quickly. These dies with the hands are very, very easy to put together. And so it's just really, really simple. And you don't even have to put that, if you're going to do something like this, you don't have to put that little piece on the tip of the finger. You can just leave it the way it is because you can't see the tip of the finger on that piece. So that will finish up my cards for the small die of the month from Spellbinders. I just had so much fun with this kit. I thought it was really, really fun to play with. And I hope that you got inspired. So when your kit comes in the mail, try it out. Keep those 3 things in mind. Die cut them out. Figure out which way is going to be best for you, the process, and then pair them with other things you have in your stash. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'll list everything I use in the video below in the description box. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you don't want to miss anything from me, and visit me on other social media forums so we can connect outside of YouTube. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.